Hi, everybody. Welcome to Orange Slice, the podcast of OSU-OKC. We are here today for episode 4 with Ross Duren, the health and wellness counselor here at OSU-OKC. And he's got a lot of things he can tell us about mental health, which is something that people think of a lot around the holidays, of course, with sometimes there's health issues with weather or with seasonal affective disorder or even just dealing with family. All those things are things that can come up. But he's here, of course, every day helping students, staff, faculty on campus. So to start off, Ross, why don't you just tell us a little bit about kind of what you do here, what your day looks like at OSU-OKC?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, first of all. My day pretty much, it looks like I'm here really to support emotional and mental health needs for our campus community, primarily students, but I do work with faculty and staff as well. So I will kind of open up my day to allow for things like individual counseling and therapy. I'll do educational events, obviously things like this so that we can get the word out about specific needs that we can see coming on the horizon, like the holidays. I work hard to make sure that I remove any barriers that students may have to either academic or social success, just so that they can be as successful as they want to be in the classroom.
Okay, very good. So I guess let's talk about how people can find you and get connected with you if they're already on campus. What's the way to get connected with what you're doing?
Yeah, great question. So, I try to make that as easy as I can. Obviously, we want to respect all of our students' privacy. So you can find me. I'm located in the administration building, room 101. So if you've been to the Wellness Center on our campus, just down the hall from the Wellness Center, you're welcome to drop by. You can also go to the website, OSUOKC.edu. No, that's all right.
Yeah, it is.
It is all right. Okay.
Yeah,
.edu. And you can locate under current students counseling and support.
Okay.
You can give me a call, 405-945-3346, or you can send me an email, and I would be happy to get back to you and get an appointment set up so that we can get the help that you need.
Great. And a lot of what you do, I suppose, is connecting people with some resources as well, right? That's a lot of maybe people don't know what resources we have or don't maybe know what they need in order to successfully complete a class, or they're just struggling in some way, and you're able to maybe sort of crystallize that and put them in touch with different resources.
Absolutely. And, you hit that so well because a big part of what we want to do is remove a barrier, right? Obviously, a big focus is on mental health, but sometimes that's something like needing a little financial help, needing utility help, needing medical help, things like that. And those are resources that we are able to connect students with out in the community. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times maybe our community members just don't understand the extent to which what we offer and getting people connected. I will hear a lot like, I didn't know that you could get me connected to this here.
Right.
As long as they come by and we can talk about what's going on, we want to help provide as much support as we can.
Right. So if you don't know, if you're like, well, I'm not sure how they would help that, you might as well come by and ask.
Absolutely.
Because, it could be a transportation issue or, different things that you might have a way to be like, well, we can get you connected to a rideshare thing or a bus pass or different. I don't know what all the answers are, obviously, but I just know that you guys have solved a lot of problems for a lot of people in maybe ways that you wouldn't think off the top of your head. That's what the health and wellness counselor is going to be able to do for me.
Sure. Right. And, one thing I love about our campus is that we're a cohesive team between our departments. I think if you went around and asked everybody who works here, they would tell you that they care about the students. That's why we do what we do. And so it's a little bit like if you come to me and I don't have a resource for you, one of my other team members does, and we can get them connected to that. So sometimes it's just bringing it up and being able to ask the question. We want to help and we want to support, but we have to know about it.
Right.
And that's kind of the big piece.
So don't be afraid to make an appointment. And even if you're not sure, is this exactly the right person to ask? Even if it's not, you probably know the person to ask.
Correct. So. Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Well, very good. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit. You're here on our holiday episode. Thank you for being here for our special holiday episode with holiday lights in the background, right before everybody or right as people are kind of going on holiday break. But a lot of people may be going to stay with family, or they may be taking a trip, or again, the weather is changing. What are some of the biggest issues you see that maybe happen over the holiday and winter time that people have problems with, and what are some tips to kind of address some of those?
Yeah, so there's quite a lot, right? I think that the common expectation is that we should all be happy, right? Because it's the holidays,
it's the
right?
holidays. Why are you not smiling?
No class, it's the holidays, you're done with the semester. We should be happy, but there's a lot of things that can come up. I think for our students, a lot of what I see is just the general change that we're no longer coming to class, right? We don't have a routine. The break is amazing. Getting to sleep, getting to maybe pick up a little extra work, get some rest is really, really important. But not kind of knocking yourself off of that routine can be really, really hard. Harder than I think we realize sometimes. I think that just the general stress of being around, as much as we love them, sometimes our family can be very stressful. You throw that in with travel, just extra layer of stress that kind of comes with having to go somewhere else. We do have several students that, are separated from their family currently. Either they're in a different location, a different state, or maybe they're an international student, and they're not able to travel back and see them. And that can be, a little bit of a downer.
Right.
And, I think just in general, the hecticness of everything that can come,
sure.
and everybody's different. But just having to go different places, do different things all the time. We are doing things like eating a lot of food and, overindulging in things. So those are some kind of keys that we see to a lot of stress popping up during the holiday season. And in case you haven't looked outside, it gets dark very early.
Right.
And so there's a lot less sunlight, and we really need that sunlight to lift our mood. So that can kind of be something that plays against us a little bit. Some tips that we really encourage our students to follow up on a little bit are keep some semblance of a routine. If you're waking up at a certain time every day, try to do, you don't have to wake up at 7 when you would normally come to campus, but try to pick a time and wake up. Try to eat regular meals like you would do. Keep yourself active some. The idea I think we fall on is to stay up late and do all the fun stuff, but make sure you're getting enough sleep, taking care of your body, almost the things that we would encourage you to do anyway. There's a little bit more of a priority to do that now. Being really self-aware is important during the holiday season, I think.
So if people are realizing, hey, I'm much more sad than I feel like I should be, is that because they're not getting enough sunlight? I mean, I guess you wouldn't necessarily know unless you knew the person, but how do you encourage people to kind of approach that?
Yeah, so it's a great point. So we've done some interesting looks into the holiday blues, right? And really people just don't know, people might know that they might feel more sad, but they don't really know how to define that.
Right.
And I think that, a lot of it can kind of go into thinking about, okay, what is going on right now, right? Is it that, am I typically sad and down? Or is there something that's maybe playing in here that might not be typical for me? Is it, obviously not having enough sunlight could be a reason, or it could just be a factor there. Depending on where you look, we see stuff like 60% of adults feel a little bit down during the holidays, right? So that's a significant number, right? Wow. Over half. And so, the numbers are a little bit harder to find on college students because they're typically younger. But, it's something that's really common. It's something that we kind of just need to be aware of.
Okay. And then, we get through the holidays, we come back to campus, we get started back up in January. Let's say there's some students watching this like, I should be taking a more active role in my mental health. What should they do when they get back to campus on January? What are some things that you would recommend that they either do or check out or try to work with here on campus to try to help them maintain that, great grade point average and continue to push on to wherever they want to be academically?
Yeah, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to our office. There's never a bad time to start taking care of your mental health. I think that we all tend to try to jump on things when the new year comes around,
right?
And maybe aren't as successful sometimes. But it can be really good right as we're going into that new semester. Feel free to give my office a call, email me, whatever you're more comfortable with doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when we know what a student's comfort level is, we can provide resources based off of that. So, if a student wants to be more virtual based, we have better help where we can connect them with a therapist that's going to be more online. If they want to come in person, I'm here to help them with that too. So if they just want to do some self-help exercises, we have that too. We just need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to tell our students that if it's one action, right?
Okay.
And if you make one choice to try to find some help and you do that, that's the hardest part. And once you've done that, it's all kind of downhill from there. So don't be afraid to reach out.
Great. And, keep an eye on the health newsletter that Hung sends out. And, we obviously send out newsletters for marketing, but you're frequently putting on seminars or different things. I don't think we have them all scheduled out for next semester yet, but over different topics, whether it's meditation or healthy eating or just different things, almost every month you've got something like that going. So keep an eye on those, I would say.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Just look out for campus bulletins, Wellness Wednesdays, Orange Wire, things like that. We release workshops. We have, on a variety of topics, whether it's mental health, breathing and meditation, anything like that. We try to do as much as we can to just get the word out about, how simple it is to take care of your mental health.
All right, terrific. Well, I would like to thank Ross Duren for being my guest here on Orange Slice. We'd like to wish all of you a happy holiday. We're going to be taking a short break after this from our weekly release schedule, but we'll be coming back right before the next semester begins in January. So stay subscribed, keep clicking the like button and all that. We love having you here listening and watching, and we will see you next year. Thank you.